Here is a recap of Day 8 of testimony in the Diddy trial. The day started with Special Agent Gerard Gannon taking the stand. He is the Homeland Security agent who was in charge of the ground operation when they raided Diddy's Miami Beach house back in March of 2024. During his testimony, the jury saw photos of some of the items that were found inside Diddy's home, including boxes of lingerie and platform high heels, as well as cash, baby oil, lubricant, and AR-15s. Gannon said 6 people were found in Diddy's home when they began the raid. They were mostly people who worked for Diddy, and no paraphernalia or anything was found on them. Diddy was not home at the time of the raid, and they actually knew that he wasn't going to be home at that time. Next, board-certified clinical and forensic psychologist Hughes took the stand. You may know her because she testified in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. She is a professional witness. Dawn testified as a blind witness, meaning she hadn't evaluated anyone pertaining to the case. She was just there to offer her professional knowledge. Dawn offered her knowledge on abuse victims and how they often stay in abusive relationships. She also talked about how sexual abuse victims don't often look for help because of shame and humiliation. She also went through trauma bonding and how abuse victims often find coping mechanisms, and how for victims it's hard to get out of relationships because they lack the finances and the resources to do so. During her testimony, there were a few recesses in the court and attorney sidebars because the defense was characterizing her as a biased witness because she offered a training back in 2015 to victim advocates who may needed to have testified in a trial. The day wrapped with George Kaplan on the stand. He is a former executive assistant to Diddy. He started working for him back in 2013, so this was after the David James era. Kaplan received a subpoena to testify. However, he tried to invoke his Fifth Amendment right because he was afraid of incriminating himself. However, the judge said that he would sign an immunity order to get him to testify. Kaplan did a lot of the things that David James did. He said that he would get hotels ready for Diddy to stay there. He would often get things that Diddy would need, whether they be clothes, baby oil, food, or drugs and alcohol. He also said that he would book the hotel rooms, and he would book them under the name Frank Black, which was an alias name that came up quite a few in testimony so far. It was the name that was on pill bottles that were found in his hotel room when he was arrested. It is also the name that Cassie said they would book the hotel rooms under. Kaplan said that it was his job to protect Diddy's image, so after Diddy would leave these hotel rooms, which it was his understanding that there was always a female that stayed with him in these hotel rooms, though he didn't name Cassie by name that I am aware of, he said that he would tidy up these hotel rooms because there's often baby oil and drugs and other things all over the rooms. The prosecution said they have about 30 more minutes of questioning for Kaplan, which they will resume Thursday morning. It is also expected that Kid Cudi could testify as early as tomorrow.